GullahJackTracks. I got a couple of clips I want to go through. You know, I kind of want to put them in a specific order, but I'm not sure if I'm even going to do that right now. I'm probably just going to flip into song. See what the first one is. Start with that one.
I heard Vibes Cartel say this, and he said, basically, like, just to paraphrase, that Black Americans, they're the privileged Black people.
The way he phrased it was Black.
That shit is crazy.
Americans are the most privileged Black people on the planet. It's funny because when you tell Black Americans this, they're gonna look at you like, what are you talking about? But
yes, we're gonna look at what are you talking about. You have got to be insane. How do you become privileged? How are we privileged? It seems that they just don't. I'm not gonna say that they don't know our history, because that would just be a lie. Our history is talked about around the world. I think that they just don't appreciate our history. I'm pretty sure they just look at white people and say, hey, well, white Americans, and say, hey, well, they're the reason that you Black Americans are doing the things that you're doing.
I think overall, when you look at where everybody else is in the world, we're looking at the people in the States saying, yo, y'all have so much opportunity. It's just,
I mean, we created those opportunities. You go from, shoot, I mean, even in slavery, you had people that were sitting right there creating inventions. You know what I'm saying? That's it's not just making the work easy. You found ways to do what you need to do to make, well, probably not patent these things, but you made some money somehow creating these inventions. That was a way to get freedom right there. Hell, you had people working after the hours were over because you could get the money to buy your freedom. This is insane. What is it? I think yesterday, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, a civil rights leader, someone who has been to many places where these people might have been ready to kill them, and this guy's just saying that we just have the opportunity because we're in America. That's not where that opportunity comes from, man. That opportunity comes from a lot of pushback from us, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of deaths. We didn't get these opportunities the way you got these opportunities by just coming over here. We got these opportunities by creating them. We got these opportunities by forcing the dominant society to, what's the right word? By forcing the dominant society to treat us as equals, as American citizens. We force that.
whether you're going to embrace it or not. You know what I mean?
What about the flip side of that argument, though? Just to be the contrarian, America can come back to him and say, what about all that trauma and all that baggage that comes with our ancestors' journey to America?
I think
our ancestors' journey to America, that's talking about like a certain period of time. The true story about our trauma and on this landmass before it was America is something that you have to jump into looking at the 13 colonies. There's black people around during the American Revolution. For some reason, we get counted out of every major milestone that happens in America. When people want to talk about the Industrial Revolution, well, I mean, the biggest thing about that was being able to move things on trains. It was black people that were owned by the train companies putting down those train tracks. After slavery was over, it was black people that were going through these mountains putting down train tracks. Granville T. Woods, he had the patent to allow people to talk to each other on the train cars. Something that was bought by Alexander Graham Bell that later on created the telephone. Another invention, technological advancement that helped catapult the United States of America far, far above these other countries, because they didn't have these things at the time. We was able to do business at a faster pace over here. The cotton gin. Cotton became king over here because we were able to produce cotton, de-seed it, all that stuff, faster than other countries. Other countries, they had cotton. People were getting cotton from other countries, but we were able to get it faster. You can't leave us out of the building of America. So we just didn't come to America. We are America. Everything that is America is what we are, or what we built.
I think Americans think they know what corruption is, but they never really truly experience what corruption is. Go to certain places in JA.
I think the difference is that when you see corruption in Jamaica, which is predominantly people of African descent, is hard-hitting corruption because there's people that look like you. Our corruption comes with people that looks like us, but we can say, hey, don't trust that guy over there. Hey, we don't need to vote that person in. We're over here and we're making stuff be known. We're making it hard for them to walk around and talk to the neighbors. We outside on the porch yelling at the neighbor like, nah, don't shake that man's hand. Nah, he ain't, no. Don't rock with dog. We could do that with our folks over here, with our, sellouts and coons. We do that with our people over here. I'm not sure what they're doing in Jamaica with that, but that's what we do. Our corruption comes from white supremacy, which is a global thing, which is the reason you have corrupt individuals inside of your nations anyway, because they're siding with the white supremacists. But y'all got to do something about that. We do something about those sellouts. Our corruption comes in the form, our corruption, governmental-wise, comes in the form of crack. Being tossed out all over you know what I'm saying? That's something. LSD. These are drugs that are created. Ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? It's what else? What else? Because people are talking about the opioid epidemic now, and it's kind of insane right there, because with the opioid epidemic, when it was black people on heroin, because that's what that is. When it was black people on heroin, there's no saving them. So white guys get on heroin, there's something to help them push, get by. We don't get that. We didn't get that. We just had the power, not even power through, we had to fight through it. We had to fight mass incarceration. We had to fight all these things that came with the war on drugs. And that's a war that's ongoing now. We had to fight through that. Our corruption is different because they create the circumstances that we have to fight against. Y'all, I don't know. These are your people. The white supremacists ain't our people.
Or certain places in Africa where it's like, yo, the government is like, bro, I had a conversation with somebody who.
You are the government. You are the government. The people are the government. Y'all vote these people in, or they don't get voted in. Maybe it's a coup or something. You have to fight against that. But I'm pretty sure you're just looking at it like, well, these are our people. That guy right there, da da da. You have to do something about that person being corrupt and allowing white supremacists to take from you, or you have to protect those people that are fighting against white supremacists, that, you know what I'm saying, are fighting against white supremacists. If y'all aren't doing these things, then yes, it's going to be corrupt. We have corruption here because we don't just have the white supremacists that are inside of the country already. There are white supremacists that come to the country. They might not end up in a system, in a place of power, but they have offspring that end up going into these political positions, going into law enforcement where they become sheriffs and they allow anti-black American gangs. You talk about corruption. Some of the corruption is coming from overseas. That Black American, foundational Black Americans have to face, are coming from overseas and getting political positions over here so they can shit on us. We seen corruption. We seen corruption from your people that come from that corrupt place that you're from. And they corrupt us. And they do anything they can to corrupt or, go against our political movements over here.
Told me he came from Eritrea and how nobody can leave Eritrea.
Yeah, I know you can't. You can't. It's hard.
They had to, like, the man said, I had to walk for 3 days, no food, to get to South Sudan, to get out of Eritrea, just get out.
What's going on in Eritrea where you have to get out? Like, I've seen, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It was something hitman, political hitman, something hitman, where the guy was explaining that what they do is they go to these countries and they start up little grassroots movements and get the people riled up because they want to live like how. And then when the government starts shutting all that shutting all that stuff down, people end up having to or wanting to get up out of there. I think it's like economical hitman or something like that. Again, y'all are the government. I can't say how you should fight. I can't say that it's going to be easy, because it's most likely not. But hell, it wasn't easy getting out of slavery. It wasn't easy getting civil rights. And civil rights is something that, is that's for everybody. It doesn't say it's Black American rights. We didn't get Black American rights. We got civil rights. It's something that helps out everybody. Our foundational Black American ancestors and elders were able to set something up that people could come to this country. well, be able to bring more people into this country. There are people coming into the country already, but it was less than what was already coming in after the civil rights movement. But that was a fight against corruption, tyranny, and all these other things.
Of Africa in general.
Could you then make the opposite point that there's a guy living on the beach in Jamaica that has a little fish shack that has a much better quality of life
Than somebody in the U.S.
I think
that have all those societal pressures, diabetes, all this overweight, the welfare system, the projects, and this guy just lives.
Some guy living in a shack on the beach is living better than, basically he's just saying somebody in America, a foundational black American here in their homeland. They could talk about all that diabetes and high blood pressure, whatever. We don't have to worry about hookworms when we walk outside. We don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about a lot of other different things that are that's something that, you know, that's in all these other countries that people have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Just rolling blackouts for absolutely no reason. We have stable electricity here and we've had that for quite a minute. I think we are far better off in the projects than somebody living on the beach hoping to catch some fish to eat for the night. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll far, that's a vacation, honestly. That's just a vacation. Just running away from the world to be secluded on some beach, this imaginary beach, because I don't think there's a place where you gonna be able to just sit there right there and nobody's gonna see you. Like, you just sitting right there, you just out there. But that part doesn't matter. Bringing up the welfare system, like what does that have to do with some dude on the beach? You could have really just kept that shit at being at peace and at mind and, you know, doing for self and all that type of stuff right there. But then you said welfare system. My thoughts on the welfare system in America is that's not the life of most black Americans. That's one. Two, most black Americans pay into that welfare system through taxes. Three, that welfare system is something that was only afforded to white women at one point. We had to fight to make sure that we was able to get that same type of government help to make sure that when the man has a family, for some reason he dies, and he was the one he was the breadwinner in the family, bringing in all the income. That welfare would help out that mother until things were able to get better. Looking at welfare, I don't even know what their perspective is on welfare. Y'all need welfare. You talking about you have a better life living in some dirty ass hut on the beach, fishing, rather than being someplace with running water, toilet, electricity. How the hell is that? I'm pretty sure somebody in the hut right now dreaming of a Brooklyn project. They want to go to that. They want to live on the 50th floor. That way they can ride the elevator for 10 minutes and you know what I'm saying, and truly enjoy the luxury of electricity. Just looking at all the lights pop up on the buttons and, you know, that little sign where the numbers change. They want that.
Easy on the beach, makes his little couple $100 USD and just lives for until he's 120.
But here's also the other flip side of that. Those people that live in Africa or those people that live in JA also exercise something that a lot of people on this side of the world don't, and it's called gratitude.
Now, I'm not even sure what he means by that. They exercise gratitude. You was just talking about somebody that had to walk 3 days from Eritrea to Sudan without food or water. what is, he just happy to be alive? Because he should be. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot right there. But if you're talking about gratitude when you come here, I mean, you should show that, but you're not showing that because as foundational Black Americans, that's the reason that you are here. Whether we want to look at the fact that the cap on African descended immigrants from Caribbean or continental Africans coming over here, there was a cap for how many you're going to be allowed to come over here. That's up. That's gone. And if you don't believe it, there's a cap on those H-1B visas that be handed out because most of the people, well, I'm not sure if they took that away or not. Most of the people who got that was East Indian. Kamala Harris was trying to move that cap. This is something that we've already done for a multitude of people to come over here. Where's the gratitude? You know what else you should have gratitude for? I can't remember exactly which one of those amendments it was, but it changed it from where, well, not changed it. It made it so that after slavery, everybody, all our people, were going to be citizens in this country. This is now what is being used for anchor babies that come over here. When people immigrate here, they have a kid, the kid is a naturalized citizen. That's that right there. That's something that we fought for in the Civil War. That's so, you know, you're welcome. Gratitude, right? It's just so many things that foundational Black Americans have done to make sure that this country is something livable. From inventions that has helped the world to different laws being created. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? These laws about discrimination in the workplace is something that we created that. So if you come over from wherever you're from and you're practicing a certain religion, they can't discriminate against you because of us. We put that there for you. That's something that helped you. Well, I'm just gonna go to the next clip. Yeah, this one right here.
So what's up with this Black American supremacy that we think we have over our...
There's no such thing as Black supremacy, because that's really what he's alluding to, Black supremacy, but he's going to say Black American supremacy. Well, no. Matter of fact, this is
our fellow Africans in Africa. I see a lot of FBA. I see a lot of
Black American supremacy. Is Black supremacy when we are talking about anything that would empower anybody of African descent. That's white supremacists like to throw some Black supremacy. There's no such thing as Black supremacy. Black supremacy is basically a coping mechanism. Like, hold up, you guys are just talking about how great you are. Isn't that Black supremacy? How? There can't be two supremes. White supremacy and there's really nothing else. You can't have two supremes. You can't have a system that protects white supremacists and disempowers disempowers everybody else. But then off in this corner, you got this other supremacy that somehow white supremacists haven't been able to check that. That's not, no, because it wouldn't be supreme, because it's not an all over thing. White supremacy is global. You can't have black supremacy without it being global. White supremacy is a global thing. So there's no such thing as black supremacy. Then you get into what this guy is trying to, black American supremacy. No, there's no such thing as that. I think this guy is just kind of, he has a problem with us acknowledging our heritage instead of just staying on that train of uplifting, symbolically uplifting Africa or the Caribbean too, because keep it 100, I think people would get along with black Americans a lot more if we just sat right there and just like, yeah, man, we just take on their culture and we just big all their cultures and stuff up and treat them like they're like the elders of all of the race, basically. That's not going to happen. There's absolutely no reason for that.
Blue feather individuals claim that we got it like that over here. We brag like we got so much power over here. But do we? This might hurt a lot of feelings.
We do have power over here. What he's going to say is something about voting, and there would be absolutely no reason for them to be so gung-ho about the black vote if we did not have any type of power with the black vote. But that's just one source of power. When Black Lives Matter was just a slogan and people were out in the streets chanting it, not joining organizations to, finesse some money from it, that's something that went around the world and back. There were, when we're talking about the uprisings after the murder of George Floyd, that there was things going on all over the world because of what happened to George Floyd. Now, they might have, they might have been seeing that and was like, you know what, we got our corruption over here, let's go handle that right now. It might not have been specifically just because of George Floyd, but because they saw how we were taking to the streets, how we were making it be known that we're not going to settle for injustice. That right there pushed a lot of people to go out in their own countries and make some things happen. We got power. And it's obvious, and we want to take it to the lightest of terms. We got power because all of our music that we created is all around the world. We have power to influence people just off of the music notes that we play. It will change, you know what I'm saying, how people will handle, or matter of fact, it'll change a culture to where they have birthed a subculture within their culture off of our culture. B-style.
But Africans have more control over their destiny than black Americans do. First, let's break down these numbers.
Now you see, right there. First video, we're privileged. This one, we don't have power. First video, we don't understand corruption. Second video, what does this guy just say? Oh, second video, these African nations have sovereignty. They're better off than us. So the first video is saying that, oh, we're worse off than y'all. Now we get to this guy, we're better off.
numbers. There's about 42 million African Americans living in America. Meanwhile,
yes, 42 million foundational black Americans who have a heritage, of that has historical events. We've done things and had things done to us that these other countries could not even, they can't compete, well, not even compete, because it's not a competition. They can't compare our fight against opposition, the white supremacist opposition, with theirs, because they still are under the thumb of white supremacy. And what he's about to talk about is them having high numbers. But with them having those high numbers, that big population, way bigger than ours, they are still under the thumb, the pinky tool, you know what I'm saying, of white supremacy.
in Africa, there was 1.4 billion black Africans.
And he really just put that thing down to the continent, and it's like, and I feel that, because go ahead and just name, well, shoot, I think what, like Nigeria got like 1 billion people in that thing. Just name the country, name the country where they're doing better than us. And when I mean doing better, we're not doing better because we are given something. We made it better for us here. So where's the country where where our continental African cousins made it better for them? Just name
minority in a predominantly YT system over here. We don't control Congress, courts, or the goddamn economy over here.
And we still get shit done. We don't control none of that. And the people that y'all tell, that people we get told to vote for, they end up doing stuff for people of immigrant descent. Whether they are of African descent immigrants, or they are white immigrants, or Asian immigrants. Nothing that they're doing helps us. When the people from the grassroots go out here, protest. People from the grassroots go out here and create opportunities, whether it's through scholarships, whether it's through collecting grant money where they could set up community workshops, or set up making sure that the churches are not just, places of worship, but now it's a place where you could throw let's not say through a community event, let's just say where you can build within the community, with the business class in the community. You have so many people doing so many different things to make sure that we gain or create access to the wealth of the government, basically. Why is that not possible to be done over there? Because it's not set up that way a lot of that stuff may not be set up that way for them to be able to do that. Why is it not set up the way for them to be able to do that? Because they're not making that happen. And it's not saying that there aren't people that's trying. It's just, there's no reason to compare black Americans with anybody else, because our history is proven through the access that that immigrants get when they come here.
Our power is only limited to what the system allows. Voting. That's it. That ain't no fucking independent.
what the system allows, that's not where our power is stuck at. Because again, they said we wouldn't be free from slavery, freed ourselves. They said we wouldn't get civil rights, we did that. They created all types of all different stereotypes of black Americans being lazy, built towns. We're illiterate, killed illiteracy after slavery within maybe, what was it, like 10 to 30 years. Talk about schools, I mean, come on. We're talking about schools that are still up now. They aren't cracked up and busted up and dilapidated universities, colleges. These places of higher learning. There are people getting PhDs at the schools that we built, the opportunities that we built within those schools. We have power. We're showing that power.
That's participation. Meanwhile, African nations are sovereign, meaning they have their own borders, governments, and constitutions.
A lot of those borders were created when they were colonized.
See, they can negotiate treaties to decide their future. Although Africans might face issues like corruption and foreign influence, they still have control over
White supremacy, foreign influence, white supremacy.
their governments at the end of the day. They have the potential to fix their problems. Meanwhile,
They don't have the potential to fix their problems if it's just corruption from foreign entities that's stopping them. You would have to stop the foreign entities before you could fix those issues. We've seen it with I can't remember the one guy who kicked out the Frenchman out of the country. We've seen that, but that military guy, is that happening in most African nations? No. This isn't about, and I'm not saying this to be on some, Africans can't get it right thing. I'm saying this because we shouldn't be pushed away from acknowledging, loving, and empowering ourselves as foundational black Americans, and shamed into, we shouldn't be shamed into looking elsewhere for power, because it seems like that's what this guy may do. I don't know. I've never seen this guy's TikTok before, but we don't have a reason to look outside of ourselves. We don't have a reason to go beyond the East Coast to look for any type of empowerment. We don't need to go south of Texas to look for empowerment. We don't have to go past the Pacific to look for empowerment. We're not looking up north, off into Canada, for our empowerment. Our empowerment only comes here. And to be perfectly honest, us empowering ourselves through the hundreds of years that this has been a country, that this country has been here, and I'm talking about the United States of America, our foundational black American elders and ancestors have done things that empowered the world.
we're still fighting systemic racism. We're still fighting mass.
Yes, we are fighting systemic racism. You are right. We are fighting white supremacy. If none of these other countries are doing that, which I'm feeling that that's what he's alluding to, if none of these other countries are doing that, I think that, they have crazy problems going on over there, and we can say that proudly that we don't have those problems because we're fighting against that.
Incarceration and police brutality.
We aren't just fighting against mass incarceration. We aren't just fighting against police brutality. We are fighting against an entertainment industry that continuously tries to push plants onto us. We are so far up the entertainment industry's ass that we are making them admit that look at the Drake thing. This guy is saying like, listen, Kendrick Lamar's only beating me because UMG is boosting up his albums or boosting up his streams for that song. That's what they did for you. And you was running around in blackface in Canada. They did that for you. They did that for you, Marvin Drew. That player hitting that song. They did that for you. They did that for you. You coming over here being weird and doing all the stuff that you be doing in the music industry. They did that for you too. So there's a good chance they're doing that for a lot of people that we're hearing on the radio. That could be that's influencing minds. We're seeing this stuff when it comes to who's allowed to be in certain award shows. We fight against all of this stuff. Come on, man. We fight against every area of human activity.
Despite their struggles, Africans still have the power to change their destiny. Sovereignty beats citizenship every fucking time.
Sovereignty beats citizenship any fucking time. Yeah. I think that goes back into this, what I said earlier. It is, you cannot talk about America without talking about foundational Black Americans. We are not just here in this country existing. We are the country. We made the country. There's nothing that you could say about this country that we don't have a footprint in. Well, y'all didn't build the skyscrapers, elevators. How you build the skyscraper? How you gonna get up to the 90th floor? Come on. Let's. Just integral things that people you come over here and again. Let's go back to the example of. Our project is better than some hut on the beach. You're going to ride down from that 50th floor project apartment, and you're going to appreciate all those lights, the numbers changing as you go down the floors. You're going to appreciate all that electricity. Just bring your ass over here. You're going to appreciate all that electricity that we was able, our foundational Black American brother, Lewis Latimer wrote a book about using electricity. Like, come on, man. That's that one. And remember, he said something about, what was it? Sovereignty beats citizenship. Let's check this out.
And you're not an American because originally you were slaves and you didn't even have value in terms of the political system. Then they were given like 3/8 of the value, right? Of
3/5.
3/5. Thank you. In my world, it was 3/8, but I live in a utopia. No, I'm just kidding. But it was like 3/5, and you go down, and it's like then amendments were made, and there was adjustments that gave you citizenship and the right to vote, but it didn't make you an American. It just gave you American citizenship.
That sounds exactly like what the boy said in the previous video. That sounds exactly like that, doesn't it? Citizenship. No. What is it? What, sovereignty is better than citizenship. This guy right here saying that we are citizens, but we're not American. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, we have 13 colonies that came together that made America. So what the hell are those people? They already had this shit. They was already whatever colony was at, they was that, right? So how did they change into being Americans? And we didn't. Oh, because the Constitution says you're 3/5 of a man, blah, 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 blah. Anything that was created in this country had something to do with black people. Again, I'm saying this over and over again because it's the truth. When they talk about tobacco manufacturing, it was black people cultivating that shit. That's just the truth. Cotton, black people. I don't know why anybody would think that you have a plantation with a house so big. Who you think? You talk about cowboys. I mean, we know the word boy. Why? That's something. So it's something crazy to say to a black man, specifically because it's a dehumanizing term for a black man. You just don't want to call him or give him the respect that he would deserve, so you call him boy. But why are white people calling themselves cowboys now? I'm pretty sure that's something that was, you know what I'm saying, reserved for the people that they were disrespecting, reserved for the people that were, tending to the cows, tending to the horses, tending to everything that is American has something to do with us. Our fingerprints are on it. And in some cases, our footprints are on it. The state of Georgia was not a state until they made it a state. Because niggas was escaping through Georgia. So they made it a state and basically deputized people to be slave catchers there. Like just some bounty hunting stuff going on right there. I mean, we could talk about inventions all night, but let's jump into the first form of American entertainment was blackface. That was the first form. Well, not the first form of American entertainment, but the first form of entertainment of that white Americans created. They were still doing things that the Britons was doing. So it's just something to look up. I mean, we talk about now with viral dance crazes, viral dances, that's a cakewalk. That's something that was created by foundational black Americans. I mean, the potato chip. I mean, that's foundational black American invented that. You want to talk? I mean, it's just so many things that you can go down the list. the song the ice cream truck plays. That was something that was used to antagonize watermelon. The stereotypes of black people liking watermelon. That created a whole industry where people were making little dolls or ceramic figures. You know what I'm saying? Of black people eating watermelon. A whole industry created off just to push stereotypes of foundational black Americans. People were getting paid off of that. We aren't American because this guy says, nah, we are American. But then on the flip side, I don't know where the guy in the previous video, I don't know where he's from, but he's also saying that, well, you're just citizens. Sovereignty is better than citizenship. This is more than citizenship here because we built the country. You would never say that to a Nigerian. Well, you're just citizens there. That country was literally created by white colonizers. But the name of it wasn't that Spartan land was not always called Nigeria. The name of it was, that's something that came from a colonizer. You would never go to a Nigerian and just say, oh, you're not sovereign, you just a citizen here. You'll never say that. Why is it that it comes here? You know why? Because for some reason, people want to believe that we were just given all of this, all of that, everything that people come to this country for, they think we were given this. You were born here. Why can't you do what I'm doing? Because I don't want to do what you're doing. You come over here and you came over here to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a doctor. I'm free. You came over here. You have to go and be a doctor here because they don't respect you being a doctor in Nigeria. So you got to go do that. I don't have to do that. I can go pick up a trade, go to college over here, find some grants and scholarships. I could do whatever. I could do what I need to do when I want to do it, however I want to do it. This is my country, and I'm able to do things because of my ancestors and elders who put it down for me to be able to do all that. You came over to be a doctor. Well, that's kudos to you. I don't know. It really just seems like it's. It really just seems like it's. I'm not gonna say jealousy. It's a thing. It's a thing here where people are expecting us to be humbled like they are when they come here. And we aren't that because we don't have to be that. We don't have to be that. The first video, the guy talking about opportunities, again, we created those opportunities, but we also have names we can name of people who have whatever opportunity he's talking about. We have people that are all-stars at taking on that opportunity and excelling. You know what I'm saying? I brought up the doctor thing. Dr. Ben Carson. Pretty sure his name is Carson. Ben Carson. He, even if I got the name wrong, his achievements is something that you'll be able to figure out. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to find them anyway. He was able to separate conjoined twins that would join at the brain. I don't think anybody else has done that before he did it. foundational Black Americans. I mean, we could talk about car companies in Africa, but we've been having car companies over here. That's not something new. The Patterson Car Company out of Ohio. We talking about some, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the Model T from Ford. This is a sports car. This is, you know what I'm saying? These are expensive cars that they're making because you can't mass produce this. You precision with the parts. This is to get back to what these guys right here talking about. Basically, all they said was, "Well, y'all were slaves, so y'all don't count." Says you. I don't. Wait, what? How does your opinion doesn't matter because it's not something that's going to show in history. Well, in history, you were slaves. Yeah, history also shows that we are the foundation of this country. This country would not exist if it was not for the money that was made off the back of us being enslaved. The amount of money that was made quicker was because of how we advanced technologically. As slaves, out of slavery, into this modern world right here. We've done things that has revolutionized the world, and it's really we really don't have anything to prove. And I feel like that's another reason why a lot of these people will come on here and say we were just slaves. Hey man, whatever, dude. We don't have to prove our Americanness to anybody. If you are celebrating Memorial Day, not thank you. Welcome. You're welcome. There you go. Charleston, South Carolina, birth of Memorial Day. Get out of here, man. It's just so many things. That I've already went over for real. I said a whole lot. I think I'm actually done. I want to. How long is it?
It gave you legal right. And that's why it doesn't take a genius to notice that black people and white people in America look, act, behave fundamentally different, both individually and collectively.
Fundamentally different. I'm not exactly sure where he's getting that from. Let's take it to the lowest common denominator within black society and talk about, and this is not lowest common denominator as if these people are like some horrible, bad degenerates or something like that. It's just it's usually going to be people who 20-some years old, living in the projects. They got their first apartment in the projects. Probably doing some very crazy and illicit stuff over there up until they decide to leave about the projects. You can see that same thing about a trailer park. I'm in West Virginia. There's hella white people up in these projects up here. I don't know. We do different things culturally. Yeah, we do different things culturally because we created our culture. Y'all just kind of copy what we do. And you know what I'm saying? And just the stuff that you're not able to do, you just kind of try to make it seem like that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? We establish neighborhoods, and I don't think I ever heard of a black neighborhood that had an HOA. Y'all establish neighborhoods and have an HOA to keep us out, but you gotta pay money to make sure you can keep niggas about it. Get the fuck, come on, man. Yeah, our cultures are very different. We are not willing to pay money to oppress people. We are not willing to oppress people. We are not willing to oppress people. Period. That's not something that we would do. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare. You can't compare our middle class to y'all's middle class. We don't have teen shooters popping up at the school, busting on the police to the point where the police scared to go in there. I don't know what's going on with that. We don't have that type of stuff going on well, you know. Even though you make it so much of an issue, you shut no. I think that's it. I'm tired. GullahJackTracks. I'm out.